Welcome to the 2014 men's air rifle final for the 2014 Junior Olympic Shooting Championships. You're watching the start of the Cider Series and Preparation Series. You see they have about a minute left in their time, actually less than that. And right now they're in front of a crowd of about 200 people out there. And they just had their chance to sight in and get everything right, and they're about to go to record fire. It's a special day today. We're dedicating the Dave F. Ridenour finals range. And this is a memorial done by the Ridenour family for David Ridenour, who passed away suddenly in 2010. He was a teammate of mine. I'm Dave Johnson here with Rhea Kempley. He's a teammate of mine at college and at our junior club, and it's been an honor to participate today. So these guys, juniors here are shooting for the first time on this finals range at the Olympic Training Center.
There's a really nice sign out there with his name. Looks very professional and classy.
Yeah, and they'll have a bronze plaque on the wall going forward, and particularly Dave's career, he was a very strong junior. He was on our national development team representing the United States overseas for 2 years, and the first 4-year first team All-American athlete in both guns. And that's still a very tight, small group, even 28 years later. So, but going into the final today, we've got quite a collection, a lot of new faces. I'll let Rhea introduce the finalists here.
Okay, so today our 8 finalists in random order of their qualifying score. We have Corey Miller, Michael Steinel, Timothy Sherry, Mitchell Van Patten, Garrett Spurgeon, Lucas Kozinetsky, I apologize for not pronouncing that right, Jean-Pierre Lucas, and William Ante.
We'll probably say Lucas K throughout
Lucas
the final
K.
here.
That'll work.
That'll work. But quite a collection here. We've got some young juniors in with NCAA champions here, between Spurgeon and Tim Sherry, battling it out at NCAAs just a month ago. So some experienced juniors and then some really brand new folks too.
That's right.
And what you're watching here, they're out on the firing line. The range officer's introducing and telling a little bit about the final. And then you'll see the clock start. And these athletes will have a time limit of 50 seconds per shot, 150 seconds to shoot 3 shots. After that 3-shot series, we'll stop and see how they're ranked. And then they'll do it again. They'll shoot another 3-shot series in 150 seconds. We'll stop and see how they're ranked. At that point, the two athletes the athlete in 8th place will be what we say is on the bubble. And they'll have 2 more shots to fight to stay in the competition. So we'll shoot 2 series of 3, and then we'll shoot 2 additional shots, 1 at a time, and then we'll have our 8th place finisher, 2 more shots to the 7th place, and so on all the way to the top finisher today.
Now how they finish in the final today is not the complete results of the match. It's taken into account for the overall standing in the Junior Olympics.
And what we do is because of the new finals rules, we have 2 days of qualifying, and so the young guys have already shot 120 shots of qualifying. And then we have this final, and they start from 0 in the final. In the old days, they used to carry their points into the final. Well, that's presented a real challenge nowadays because we want to recognize the top athlete in both the qualification and the final skills. And so what we've done is we take their 2 days of qualification scores they've worked their tail off on to shoot well, and then we give them points for how they finish in this final today. So if they finish in first, they will get 8 points. Second, they'll get 7 points. And so on, all the way to 8th place will get 1 point. That will be added to their 2 days of qualification scores to determine the National Junior Olympic Champion. And they're still going through the introductions out there, and we should have them shooting live shots shortly. If you're new to this and looking at the screen right now, that dot is the 10 ring. It's smaller than the period on a typewriter or a computer keyboard typing. That is the 10 ring. It's scored in tenths or decimals. And so if a shooter just touches that dot with their pellet, they get 10.0. If it's a little deeper than that towards the middle, they get a 10.1 or 10.2, 10.3, all the way up to perfectly in the center is a 10.9.
I think they're giving some personal anecdotes about the shooters out there.
Yep.
Some little biography, which unfortunately we cannot pass on to you because we can't hear them. But
Yeah. Additionally, this Junior Olympics is also part one of the World Team Tryout for juniors. We have a World Championship this September in Granada, Spain, and that features junior events also. And many of these athletes you're watching today will likely be on that world team. We take 3 athletes per event, air rifle, small bore, to represent the USA in competition at the Worlds. And over the years, they've done very well. In fact, the last cycle, our junior men pulled 2 team medals and a couple individual medals, and along with the women who did very well too.
Yeah, our juniors are definitely some of the world's best, I would say.
That's right. That's right. Okay, we've started our first series of 3 shots. You saw the clock start there at 2:20, and we're a lot of the shooters shot right away. We've got an excellent shot there from Garrett,
Yeah,
10.8.
great first shot.
And you'll notice that we have this knack of saying great shot from a shooter at 10.8, and then they shoot a 9.9.
They heard us.
They heard us or something. But 9.9 is not a disaster in this final. It's something that needs to be improved, but at the same time, with the decimal scoring and his 10.8 on the first shot, you can make it up.
Mm-hmm.
So as you watch these guys shoot, you see some examples of what we're talking about. Tim Sherry's got a 10.0, and he's just barely touching the 10 ring. And over at Corey Miller, he's got a 9.9. He's just a hair out from that, so he's just off. So we got a couple athletes with both 10s, Mitch Van Patten and William Ante.
Yeah, nice done. Lucas K looks like he's having a little trouble, but
Yep. Maybe a little jitters starting off at the beginning there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. So he'll settle down as we go here. Garrett Spurgeon came back with a 10.3 and has got a 31. That's a solid score. Kind of a world-class pace on air gun, say at the World Cup level, is towards 32. And 31 we look at in the junior level and say, hey, that's very solid. Great place to be.
It seems pretty important that they do well from the very beginning in this kind of final, because it's hard to make up points later.
That's true. You've only got 6 shots till you're on the bubble,
Right.
and that's tough. So you've really got a really steady, really just consistent performance. And it looks like Lucas K came back with a 10.7. That's good confidence builder for the next round.
Yeah, great job.
Okay, so we've got all of them at 3 shots down range. Right now, Garrett's in the lead. He's got 1/10 advantage over Mitch Van Patten, who's got 4/10 on Lucas, and then 2/10 to Corey Miller, 3/10 to Steinel, who's tied with Tim Sherry, and then Lucas K 1.1 back, and he's in a tie with William Ante.
Wow.
So very tight.
Yeah, it is close.
But both Lucas and William need to shoot a solid 3 shots here to really put themselves back in. They're 1.1 behind 6, so it's very doable. But they've got to get it done right now.
And if they're looking up, they can see this TV in the range. So if they want to know where they are in the standings, they can find out. And I'm not sure if that would be an advantage or not. I guess it would depend on the person.
Yeah, that can be that sometimes knowing is it's a double-edged sword. It can be motivating and it can be distracting. So, well, wow, you got some guys shooting for it here.
Yeah.
Corey Miller, a nice 10.7, and Garrett Spurgeon, 10.5. Okay, and a couple of guys struggling there. Tim Sherry, Van Patten, Lucas, and Lucas K all in the 9 ring, but again, we've got a couple more shots in the series.
Steinel, nice 10.8.
Yeah, very nice. He's on
Yeah.
that's a world-class pace there, 10.5 average. And it's pretty challenging out there in the finals range right now because the crowd's reacting to the shots. They're clapping, they're talking, and
Right.
cheering, and so it makes it very challenging for these guys to get up here and shoot.
Yeah. Steinel, wow, what a series. Look at that. Great job.
Yeah, that's 31.6. That's a world-class level.
Garrett Spurgeon as well.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
nice. 10.6 there. Confidence builder. Looks like Will Ante has got a 10 average going, 10.1 average. And again, he was 8th in the last series, but he wasn't the gap wasn't that big. He's fighting to kind of get back into it. He wants to get up to around that 6th place level at least to give himself the best shot over the next elimination series when they start. Okay, and we've got Mitch Van Patten finished up there. Tim Sherry found a little more center in the 10 ring there. He kind of built in. He had a 10-0,
Yeah.
then like a 10.
Yeah, crawling in.
And crawling in there. You're kind of seeing those collegiate competitors between Sherry and Spurgeon, a little more experience. I mean, they just came through a real pressure training at the NCAA championships, and it shows here. I mean, they're probably they're grouping a little better than the rest of the field.
Yeah. They know more what to expect, what they're going to feel like, how to deal with that heart pumping and all of that.
Sure.
So it might be, some of these juniors might be their first time ever shooting one of these finals.
That makes it tough.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, we've got that second series is finished. And so now leading is Garrett Spurgeon, half a point on Michael Steinel, who's 8/10 on Corey Miller, who's tied with Tim Sherry. And then just 1/10 back is Jean-Pierre Lucas. And then Will Ante moved himself up to 6 on that series, which
Yeah.
is good. He's put himself off of that bubble now. He's just 1.3 behind Mr. Lucas. And then we've got Mitch Van Patten and Lucas K. They are battling out to stay in. At this point, we're shooting a 1 shot at a time, and we'll do that twice until we announce our 8th place finisher. Wow.
Well, all 10 so far. All
Yeah,
right.
all
Great.
10s. Very
Great
good, these
series.
guys. I think that's kind of shows they kind of relaxed a little bit after that first 2 series, and
Yeah.
now they're after it. They want to stay in.
Settling
So.
down a little bit. Yeah.
And Mr. Van Patten there, the nice 10-8, and Mr. Lucas, the 10-6, leading the boards. So our 8th, or pardon me, we have 1 more shot to go to determine our 8th place finisher. Lucas K is on that bubble. He's 4.4 back of Van Patten. It's a bit of a mountain to climb, but
yeah. It's an awful lot to make up, especially air rifle. But
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll give it a try. All he can do is shoot the best 10 he can.
that's right. That's their job. Their job is to stand there and just shoot the best shot they can, and let the numbers take care of themselves. Okay, we've got our second shot started. They get 50 seconds on each of these shots. It's enough time to take 2 attempts or 2 holds, we say, but it's pretty tight. You really got to get up there and do what you got to do right away.
Well, Lucas K came back with a good 10.
Nice.
So he's,
Yeah, nice finish, 10-5 there.
Yeah.
That's a good way to finish up today's final if he ends up in 8th.
yeah, something to be proud of and
Yeah.
take away. That's great.
Wow, and Will
Well,
Ante,
Ante, look at him. Yeah.
he's not just moving from 6. He wants to
No.
go higher. And he's getting a nice 10-8 there.
Yeah, he's really, from a bit of a rough start, he's definitely calming down and getting right in the 10 ring. That's great.
Yep. Okay, and so our 8th place finisher is Lucas K. And now we'll move on to 2 more shots, shot 1 at a time. That will determine the 7th place finisher. Mitchell Van Patten is on the bubble. He's 7/10 back of Will Ante. And leading the event, Garrett Spurgeon picked up 2 more tenths to his lead. He's got 7/10 on Jean-Pierre Lucas, who's 1/10 on Tim Sherry, followed 4/10 by Corey Miller, who's tied with Michael Steinel.
I think I hear clapping in there. They're trying to distract them as much as they can.
You know, the range officer encouraged them to go ahead and cheer and make noise. And it's a bit of a departure from a lot of our shooting over the years in the United States. We'd always make it into kind of a library atmosphere. and that's not what these kids will find overseas. They'll find a lot of noise, and it continues all the way to Olympic Games. I can tell you there that it could be almost deafening when they're trying to shoot their shot. And so
That's right.
this is good early training that will help these young guys continue to build.
There's some cheering in there, maybe for Tim Sherry's great shot. Or
Yeah, 10-8 there.
yeah, that's great.
So with one more shot to 7th place, our next elimination, Will Annie's on the bubble, but he's just 1/10 behind Mitch Van Patten. So it's really the two of them battling it out to stay in with this next shot here. And Garrett Spurge is still in the lead, but he gave some up. He gave 5/10 up. He's now just 2/10 on Tim Sherry, and Jean-Pierre Lucas is 6/10 back. But actually, you can go all the way to 5th place there. It's very close.
Right.
Total of 1.9 points from 1st to 5th, with several shots to go.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be mixing around a lot the next few shots. See what happens between 6th and 7th here.
Again, when you see the timer start just now, the 50 seconds, that way you know the range officer just said start. And they're aiming and they're ready to go.
Ooh, Garrett Spurgeon got a good shot there.
Yeah, he heard me say I he gave up some lead there, and so now he wants it back with a nice 10-6. Jean-Pierre with a 9-9. Will Annie with a 9-9.
Wow.
Mitch Van Patten with a 9-0. And Michael Steinel with a 10-2. And Corey Miller with a 10-3.
Okay. So Will Ante fought his way back up.
Yep, and
but he's still got 2 points behind 5th place. So
that's right. So our 7th place finisher today is Mitchell Van Patten. Nice job, and you can hear the 200 some spectators give him a nice round of applause. And now we'll go back into that 2-shot elimination series. It can be kind of a grind out there for these guys, because they, you know, if they're on the bubble and they're just staying ahead of it, it feels, you know, it feels like a fight, you know, just to stay in.
It's a battle. Yeah.
And so, but again, regardless of the outcome, this is great training for these young guys, and especially ones that are stepping into this type of final for the first time.
Yep. Yeah, good experience and an accomplishment just making the final today. You know, the best juniors in the country, and if you're in the top 8, that's
very good.
Yeah.
Okay, we're into the first shot in the series, and boy, Garrett, no slowing down, 10-5.
Boy. So we gained something on Steinel there. But Corey Miller, wow.
He's not giving it away. 10-8. Jean-Pierre Lucas 9-9 and Will Annie 10-1.
Sherry plus a 9-8. Oh.
Yeah, Sherry's been up and down in this final.
Yeah, he has. Is that a part of the mental game? Staying consistent with your focus and.
Yeah, I think so, because especially in this one where you start and stop. I think it's just really, really critical to make sure that you keep an even keel. You know, if you start reacting to the announcer or the crowd, I mean, you could go up and down, up and down.
Okay.
And,
that makes sense, yeah.
And I know the coaches do it. I do watching it. So if I was out there holding a rifle trying to aim it, I think that'd certainly be one of the challenges, is staying really focused on what you got to do to perform well on the next shot. Okay, the next shot has just started. Will Annie's 1.9 back of Michael Steinel to stay in the final here. Garrett Spurgeon increased his lead. He's 1.1 over Corey Miller. And now let's watch the rest of the shots come in.
Spurgeon has another deep 10. He's not giving anything up now.
Wow, yeah, pair of 10-5s. I think his last 5 shots have been a 10.5 average, actually. Very good.
Oh, Will Ante, he's going out fighting too.
Yeah, nice 10.5.
Yeah.
And same with Michael Steinle at 10.6 there. Okay, so they just announced William Ante will finish 6th place today in this final. And nice job, good fight, and I think he had a couple of personal bests this week in the matches.
Oh,
Actually,
did he?
shot
Wow.
it was good shooting,
That's
consistent.
fantastic. Yeah.
So, all right, we're
Great
back
job.
to our next series of 2 shots, and leading Garrett increased his lead a bit, 1.4 now on Tim Sherry, who's 0.8 back or ahead of Corey Miller. And then the next is negligible. It's 1/10 to Michael,
Oh,
and then Jean-Pierre is tied with Michael. So,
Yeah. So those 3. Yeah.
so we got 2 shots here to battle it out for 5th place.
Oh,
Start
Garrett.
clock on. Yeah, go Garrett. Now
The
there I go
blind
again.
Shot. Yeah.
There I go again. And Garrett, if you're listening to this later, I'm just saying. But there's a 9-2 there. That's going to hurt, but he had built up a lead, so
Yeah.
it's not time to panic or anything. Tim Sherry, 10-7.
Ooh,
took
so he's going to make up
advantage.
some space there on Spurgeon.
Yep,
Oh, he jumped ahead.
that's right.
Wow.
That's kind of a taking advantage when someone's down, I'd say. But that's what the final there. It's a good battle.
Yeah.
Tim Sherry knew the crowd reacted to Garrett, and then Tim stood there and shot 10-7. That's a good fight.
Yep.
So
Good mental focus and
so now we've got Tim on top, 1/10 over Garrett. There's followed 1.4 by Corey Miller, and then on the bubble, we've got a tie with Michael and Jean-Pierre with 1 more shot to go. Now, if they tie after this shot for the elimination, the range officer will have them shoot a sudden death right away. They shoot an additional shot, just those 2 athletes.
that's no pressure.
No, not at all. I keep telling them as a coach, it's good training.
Yeah, right.
even if it feels like you want to run out of the room and toss your cookies, it's still good training. Okay.
Garrett
Whoops.
Spurgeon's giving some more away.
Garrett.
Come on, Garrett.
Okay. 9-6.
We'll see what Tim Sherry does then.
I know he'd like to redo that 2-shot series.
Yeah, but he did have a good,
Yeah.
build up to this point. So if he can come back.
Yep. And
Tim
Tim
Sherry.
10-0.
10-0.
Michael 10-6.
That's great.
Corey 10-5 and Jean-Pierre 10-0. And so our 5th place finisher today is Jean-Pierre Lucas. And now we've got 4 guys left. Still very tight.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Sherry's got 5/10 on Garrett, who has 5/10 on Corey, who has 6/10 on Michael. So it's really in these 2 shots, that's nothing really, 5/10, and that's anybody's match right now. So 2 more to the next elimination, 1 shot at a time.
Okay, Garrett's back in the 10.
Yeah, 10-2. Corey 10-7.
Crowd's reacting in there.
Michael 10-4, and Tim. Looks like Tim did a second hold on that one, which is okay. Good confidence if you can do that. Nice work.
10-6.
10-6.
Great. Yeah.
That was worth it. Very much
Yep.
worth it.
Yep.
And sometimes I know from shooting in some of those finals that if you feel yourself reacting to the crowd or other noises, you just got to let that wave go by. And just breathe and just come back and get back on what you're doing.
Don't force the shot.
Yep,
Yeah.
no force the shot.
Yeah, it feels like you're going to run out of time, but if you practice it, you know what 20 seconds feels like,
That's right.
and you know you can do it.
That's a great confidence builder when you do that. So on the bubble, Michael Steinle, and he's 9/10 back of Spurgeon. who's tied with Corey Miller, 9/10 back of Tim.
Tim Sherry's really made a kind of run here in the last few minutes. Into first, he's gaining a lead.
Yeah, it's a nice series here for him.
Yeah.
Last 10 shots been a nice series for him.
Oh yeah.
So we're back into the next shot, and Garrett, struggled on that one,
no.
8.9. And let's see.
Corey Miller, look at that.
Yeah,
Wow.
10-8. Nice. And
Same with
with
Michael
Michael,
Steinel.
10-6.
Wow.
Yeah, we're
Right
waiting
on
for
top
Tim.
of the last shot.
Tim 10-4.
Yeah.
So solid. Corey Miller certainly the highest run there, 21.5, which is excellent. 10.7.5 average there.
Yeah.
Um,
Not too bad.
Not bad. Very much world class. So nice job. And our fourth place finisher today will be Garrett Spurgeon.
Well, he certainly had a overall pretty good final. Just a few shots that hurt him. So.
Yeah, early on, very solid, and struggled a bit at the end, but learn. As a coach, you hate to say the cliche learning experience, but that is what it is.
Yeah.
It's,
I always hated to hear that, but it's true.
doesn't make it feel better.
Yeah.
But as they compete here through the summer, and then if he makes the world team, this experience will help him.
Absolutely.
So on to, now we have our top three for the final today. And they've started their next series of 2 shots. They get one at a time. Let's see who's up.
Oh,
Oh,
Corey
wow.
Miller. Wow, he's really on fire.
Yeah, today.
Steinel too. Wow.
10-7. Tim Sherry's got to be thinking, what do I got to do here?
Oh,
Not that.
not that.
Don't do that one. That was a 9-3.
Oh,
Okay. All right, Tim, we've got some work to do here.
yeah.
Now he had built up a little lead, so he's cut it down with 1 shot to go to stay in. He's just 2/10 on Michael Steinel, and great. So
Yep.
we'll see what they do.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting race for the top because it's so close, and these guys are all doing really well.
Yeah, it's a lot of good shooting there. I think. Well, what is that with Corey Miller? He's averaging 10-8 now for I think 4 shots. If I got my West Virginia math correct here. Okay.
Wow.
Into the
Another
next one.
10-8.
Michael 10-8.
Corey has a 9-6.
9-6.
So Tim Sherry,
Tim
9.
9-7. So after that series, it looks like Tim is our 3rd place finisher today. Finished 9/10 back. But look at the battle we got for these next 2 shots
It is
here.
tied.
It's tied. Michael and Corey.
I wonder if they're going to announce that on the range just to make sure that they know.
Yep, probably will. So. Okay, so we've got 2 more shots, 1 at a time. Will determine who's first and second in this final. As Ray said earlier, the placement in this final will gain them points that'll be added to their last 2 days of qualifying scores to determine the Junior Olympic champion for 2014. So we've got our next shot just started. 50-second clock.
Hearts are pounding. Wow. So Steinel is a good shot. I mean,
Yeah.
Corey still shot a 10, but
Yeah.
they were tied, so it's
Just picked
they're
up 5/10.
already 5/10. Yeah.
And so 10-6, and that's Steinel's been shooting the lights out here, center shots for the last several also.
Yeah.
So 1 more shot to go. 5/10 to make up. Corey Miller knows he's got to shoot a good deep shot here, just the best shot he can shoot. And our timer started. Here we go. The crowd's out there making noise. I know they don't feel like it. They're standing there, but this is good training for them.
Yeah.
And let's see what happens here.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay, Corey.
Corey comes back with a great 10, but
Yeah, 10-7. And Michael struggled a little on that shot at 9-8, but I tell you, still a very, very good series there. Both these young men throughout the final. And,
definitely. Yeah, great job.
the two of them put up the most centers, and that's why they're here at the end battling for first place. So we have our first place finisher today is Corey Miller. He ended up 4/10 on Michael Steinel. And third, Tim Sherry. Fourth, Garrett Spurgeon. Fifth, Jean-Pierre Lucas. Sixth, William Ante. Seventh, Mitchell Van Patten. And eighth, Lucas Kazinieski. And as Rhea said, we do apologize for our pronunciation. And good job to all these young men. I think they had a very good final here.
Oh, yeah. It, a lot of fun to watch, so.
So please join us in 2 days for the men's small bore final. And we'll have all the results live streaming between now and then. Thank you very much.
Thank you.